I've cut out my templates and I'm just going to play. I've got so many denim scraps, I'm going to use those, and I've got a bunch of homespun fabrics that I'm going to use as well. Just play and enjoy and create. First of all, to make the templates, I printed them off the internet, and I will put the link below so that you can go to the website and print them off yourself. I'm gluing them to card and then cutting them out, and I'm going to do this for all of the shapes. I'm going to work on this shape. I'm just working on placement of putting my fabrics. So that's good there. So I'm going to pin that down and go and zigzag that down, those two pieces together. So now I've got the body and the head where I want them. I'm going to work on the ears. I'm going to mark the head. So this is the head here and the ears go that way. So I can see it, but I'm just going to mark it in chalk so you can see it. So that's my head and that's the opening for the ears. So now I'm going to get, I like this one, so let's use this fabric and put you there, because that's where it's going to join this section here. Make sure there's enough fabric either side of that opening. So I've got a good ½ inch overhang, and I'm going to put this back down here just so I can see what's going on, and cut out my fabric. Take that off, and I want to cut around this head shape. So let's just see where I can cut. Okay, all of that. So I'm just going to cut around the head. Leaving about 1/4 inch seam allowance. Going to trim that bit off so I can see what I'm doing. And now I'm putting the bunny back on. This will be out the way, and lining up this fabric, making sure I've got plenty all the way around, and that's where I'm going to sew it down. So I'm going to pin that down. I'm just going to sew this section here. So I'm going to line my bunny up again. Okay, I want it there. I'm just going to cut this back. Out the way. I don't want to be sewing it in by accident. Now what I want to do is put some stiffening in the ears. I have a bunch of this fusible interfacing. It's a medium weight, and I want to put that in the ears. So I'm just seeing where my ears are, which is there. Let me see if that's enough. Yep, that's covering the ears. So I'm just going to press that down, and that's stuck down. Now take the back. So let's cut a piece of denim for the back. Now the template that I'm doing is that way round. So for the back piece we need to flip it over and draw it that way round. So draw around your shape. So there's my shape, and lay the shape onto your template. I'm going to just use the cardboard as a guide. I don't need this, I need to cut that off too. I'm all fingers and thumbs. I'm going to line, let me see, that's how I want it. So trying to keep it all together, I'm going to line the bunny up on a straight line on my mat, just to give me an idea. And then you, so let's see where the ears are. Nope, got to come over a bit more. Make sure the ears are in. Yeah, no, pull you down a bit more. Make sure the ears are in, and they are. And the head, I can feel the head there, and I can feel the neck there. Because the seams, I've got seams here, and I can feel them. So I'm happy with that placement. You're just going to have to work this out yourself. You can put pins in, like I could put a pin in here in the ear and make sure it's coming out on the opposite side. Very similar place, so I'm good with that. And now we're going to sew all the way around. I'm just going to check this out first. If you want to add other bits of decoration on here, now is the time to do it before you sew that down. I'm going to leave it at that for this one. So I'm going to go and sew all the way around that edge. I've sewn all the way around the edge. Now I could have drawn the template on the front if I was that concerned. So if you really want it, and to make sure you don't mess up on your placement, just draw it on the front and sew from the front. It doesn't make any difference which way you do it. And now cut that out. I'm going to use pinking shears, but you can use regular scissors and have a frayed edge, which would look nice. I'm going to use a zigzag scissor. And that's finished. Now you could embellish that with a hot glue gun, you could use, but I have buttons here. If I wanted to give it an eye, I could give it an eye. You know, whatever you want to do, it's entirely up to you. If you want to sew, it's ideally best to do it before you put the back on, because you don't really want all extra sewing lines on the back. I'm going to continue with that with all the other shapes until I've got a bunch, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. Now with the remainder of the fabric that I used for the ears, I want to cut 2-inch strips. I'm just going to cut this at 13 inches. Snip at 2 inches. I'm just doing 3 of each. And I'm going to just tear them. Put that aside and do the same for the remainder 2 colours. Any frayed edges, loose pieces, I'm just going to take all those off, and that'll give a nice fray down the edge of the fabric. I'll do that for all of them. So now we have all these strips. And this is the inside seam of jeans. I've finished all my bunnies and I've put them in order that I want them. I've put eyelets in all of them. And now we're ready to complete. So I have my string. To tie these on, I'm leaving a 13-inch gap. So I'll get the next one. And I want this one to be here. So I'm just looping the twine, pushing it in from the back, pulling it down, and then looping it around the bunny so it forms a knot. Now as you can see, that's too big, so I need to adjust now the thread, pulling the right one, which is that one, till I get it to my 13 inches, which is there, and then I'll pull this one to tighten it all, and that's how I'm doing the gaps, because I want a uniform gap in between this bit on the end to tie it. So I've got my bunnies. I'm not sure what happened here with my camera, but it started messing up with the lighting. So I'm going to cut it short, but what I'm doing is sewing the strips of denim and the strips of fabric in between the bunnies and just sewing them all down. Making sure everything else is out the way. And just put a few flat stitches. Okay, and I'm going to repeat that for all of them. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all of the above. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully I can continue making these videos for you. Thank you for watching. Until next time.